first thing I will check, of course, first thing I'll do, I will log in as super user here, and then I would check my SE Linux configuration. It's enforcing, so I need to make it disable and then to reboot. Disabled, so I'm gonna reboot it now. After I send it, I don't have any check. Let me just double check the system CTL status of my firewall. If I would like actually to check something else, I see if I have an HTTPD here. So I say HTTPD and I'll click enter. Okay, firewall D, we need to say here, not firewall S. And here it is, HTTPD is on. And I need to go a little bit up. My firewall D is stopped. So this is okay. So I'll do Control C on this, Control L, and I'll say reboot. And I'll wait until this one is rebooted now. I'm following the document from the first lab from the first day to install it on CentOS 7. The document is called, here it is called dvwa installation. That's the document which I'm following later. Okay, so this guy is back. I will log in now, and then I would install the MariaDB. On the terminal here. I'll say yum install MariaDB, DB-server, and I'll say -y. Well, we need to be super user. Well, let's first repeat this command. So sudo bank will login. Okay, well, anyway, I'll repeat I'll copy this command from the top and I'll put it here. I'll put it here. And it says that there is a process which is doing something here. Well, I'm gonna kill the process. The number of the process is 2862. It might die before this though, but now it's killed, so I'm gonna repeat this one. Now another process is doing this. We'll kill this one too, and we'll try again. Now we do Control F, Control D, and we'll try again. I'll log in from the system in general. So it's starting now, and it will install. That's the first command once again, which we are doing here. Once again, I'm following the first lab from the first chapter, installing the MariaDB from it. Well, we'll do the same thing as we did on the before, but doing it on a Windows machine. Okay. The command for this would be systemctl. Well, let's change to super user. Here will be easy. Systemctl enable dash now, and we'll say MariaDB. This one at the end. So now it's starting. I'll check the status, of course, just to be sure that it's enabled, and it's enabled and it's on. Now we need to do the, we need to create the user for and the password for MariaDB. So that's normally you do MySQL underscore secure underscore installation, and it says enter for the root. So we're going to use whatever they give us in the for the we need to change as per the documentation to password with at and O, and 0 instead of O, and at instead of A. So say enter for this. Set root password, the default one is Y, so I'll click enter for, and I'll put whatever they're asking me to do. P at SSW 0 RD. I'll repeat it, P at SSW 0 RD. Remove anonymous, yes. Disallow root login remotely, I guess that's yes. We just follow whatever they say. Yes. Yeah, oops. Again, it's enter. And then remove test database, it is yes. And to reload the privileges, yes. And we're done. So now we need to install the PHP and zip and wget as they ask us. So here install wget PHP MySQL, which is the database for PHP, the integration of PHP for MySQL, PHP GD, that will help us with the installation of the dvwa, PHP dash peer, PHP dash peer dash db with capital, and unzip, and I'll say dash y, and then I'll start the installation, download of all of this in installation. We installed it very fast. Now the installation of the dvwa is we need to go to the var, so we need to go cd var html and www and then html, and we need to download dvwa, so we're gonna say the wget https github.com ethical hack 3R, what they show us here, then dvwa with capital archive, and then master.zip. Okay, so it's cannot, yeah, because I did it wrongly. It's not dot here. We have /. It's my error. And master zip has been saved. So I need to unzip now. I use the unzip command which I just installed a little bit before. Master zip, and the next thing what I need to do, oops, to say end, I need to move whatever will be unzipped, dvwa dash master. I need to move it to dv, so actually I'm gonna rename it, okay, to a small letter. So nothing different than what we did before. On the Windows we downloaded this one from the dvwa site, and we renamed it, if to remember, to a small one, and put it into our XAMPP. The same thing it does here, just instead of XAMPP we're using the HTTPD, the Apache server, and var www.html is the folder where it is. In the Windows was C XAMPP. Say enter, and it's done. Now what else I need to do is to configure the file there, cd var www html config. We need to go first to dv actually here, and then config. Okay, and so let's see. Yeah, give me just a sec to see what I have here. I have the config. Oh, I need to go again. So actually it's created another folder. So what I need to do here is, let's do cd. I could actually come here, other location, I'll open the computer, I'll navigate where it says var. Here it is, so you guys to see what's going on actually. Here it is, I'll go to the, I would navigate to www, here's the HTML, and here's the dva. Well, that it's created it again actually, here it is. So there is a dwv here, so I'll do to config, actually I need to go to config, and then I need to copy, remember I needed to out of the file which is there, config file, this one I need to create a new one which will be only PHP, this one. And now I need to navigate to the PHP. First I need to change the permissions actually, so I would say here chown dash r Apache. So to know the Apache has access to this one, I'll say var www html and dvwa. Then I need to change the PHP INI, so I'll do here vi, let's see, and I'll do php.ini. And if you remember, I need to come here and to find out the one which says allow underscore URL underscore f open. Click enter, and I'll say y. This one's okay, this one is not okay here, so I'll change this one to on, and I'll remove the I which appeared here. It's not supposed to have I, so that's okay. I'll save this file now. I'll reboot the Apache, so system ctl restart httpd. If everything is fine, there will be no message. And now we could try to do the configuration which before didn't work. So go application and say Firefox, and I would open the, here I would open the file. I would say our local host dvwa, and I'll say setup, oops, setup.ini. It's actually setup PHP, that's my error. Okay, so it shows everything's fine. Recapture, we cannot do anything. I'll say create. Now we have again the MySQL problem. Let's check. So this error is shown because we need to come and change the PHP. They don't show it into the documentation. So I need to go and find it first. Let's say ls. So here it is. So I need to do vim config PHP, and I need to find out, and you see that's the problem. I need to change here to something else. What I did, I just stopped again the SE Linux. I thought I did it in the beginning, but it obviously didn't work. So we'll check it first now, because apparently without it, it will give us a problem when the root is trying to access the database of the dvwa. So that's why we saw this. Okay, finally it is okay. So it's working now. We will put the admin and the password now. These are the default ones. Okay, and hopefully we're there. Oof. So what I'll do now, I would stop my network again, and just I will change now to my needed here. And I'll say shared folder, I'll say network here, and I'll change to host only adapter, and actually I need to use the third one, which is in my DMZ. I'll wait a little bit and I will say on, and then I will check my IP address to see what's going on. So my IP address shows 205, that's fine. I'll navigate now to my firewall, and I'll change here I allow the web access, the first rule which I created it. I will just change the IP address here to correspond. I'll say 192.168.200.205. I will save it. I will say apply, and I'll try it from here. So and it shows test, and now what I need to try actually is the dvwa. I'll put my username here, admin, but with small letter of course, and I'll do the password, which is password. I'll say login, and I'll save it here. So I'm okay. Now let's start with some simple first we could do let's say the file upload. We could upload files. Now before doing anything else though, you need to go to the dvwa security, and because there are 4 of them obviously, you need to choose the law for now. Okay, so it is a law, and you say submit, and it says security level set to low. Now we're gonna work with the database from this perspective. So if I would like to upload the file, here it is. You need to choose the file. Okay, I could choose a simple picture actually. So if I do a picture, if I make a screenshot of this one, very simply I could create a screenshot of this one, and I would change it. Here it is. I would save it to my desktop. I'll capture PNG, and I'll say okay. Now I'll say open, I'll say cancel. Actually, I'm gonna say upload. Say choose file. Actually, I'll need to choose the PNG file. Here it is, capture PNG. And I'll say upload. Successfully uploaded. You see, it says capture PNG has been successfully uploaded. Now, see this one though. Uh, I could upload more than the file. Actually, I could use more stuff than file. So I'm in Kali now at the moment, and what I could do from here, I could access this machine. I could put here the 193, it's 200, and I'm gonna put here 8. And I'm gonna access the down vulnerable machine from here. So here it is. I'll put my username and my password. Okay, I'll save it. We check just once again. We'll check the security. Here it is. It's okay. We said we're gonna do the file upload here, and we did already this. Now, what I could do else, indeed, is to actually I could use a small command which is called weavly. Okay, and that's the thing you do. I could generate a small shell PHP file. Let's say I could generate a small PHP file. So I would say like this. I could come here on this machine, and I could open my CMD here, and I'll do weavly. Here it is, weavly, and I could say what is the IP address, what is I mean how I would like to access it. Okay, and I'm gonna upload this small shell.php. Well, that's not actually what I need to do. Here's the command. I need to create it first. Here it is. I need to generate this weavly, and I will generate the shell PHP, a simple shell, and I'm gonna do it like this. And actually the 1 2 3 4 5 6 is the password. That's what it shows. And now if I go there, and if I put the instead of the picture which I initially put it, now I could put this file. Now this happened because it will happen because the you know we've chosen very low security level of our then vulnerable machine. So if I click on this file which I just created it, you see now it's here. Okay, and if I do upload, actually you see it shows me even where it has been uploaded, and it says successfully uploaded. So actually if I do the other command now, weavly, which is to navigate to this site and to wherever this file has been downloaded, and use the password of 1 2 3 4 5 6. Well, you see now I'm accessing a shell there. So if I do ls, actually I'm gonna see well, I'm accessing the other machine, I'm sorry. So I'll do again the same command, but I will check here. I will change here to 8888 because that's the Windows machine. Okay, so this is my Linux machine. Here it is. If I do ls, here it is. I see all of the computers where it is. Actually, the capture PNG, as you see, it is the file which I uploaded before, right? I see this file too, right? I could actually execute it, and I could see, and I could do other things here, right? I could navigate, I could execute commands, as you see, as I see pwd, it will show it to me. Now, if I would like to, if actually I increase the level here of the security, so if I increase the level of security to high, okay, and if I try to do the same thing here with the file upload, okay, with the file upload, I'm sorry, and if I try again to send this file, okay, shell PHP, and say upload. You see, your image wasn't updated. We can only accept JPEG and PNG file. So if we go back here, you see always there is a button here which shows you the code actually. So you're gonna see the code has been changed now, and we see the previous one actually. And eventually it is much more sophisticated, and it doesn't allow anything else than a JPEG or PNG to be sent. Okay, so if I go back to the security level here, and if I choose now the low security level, submit, and if I go again to file upload, and if I try to browse and to send this file and say upload, you see it's uploaded. Well, because if I open the source, and now you're going to see the code is much less, and actually it allows everything to be done. So what this exercise is teaching teaching us, guys, is that depend of how your site is prepared, depend of how the code is done. Well, some vulnerabilities might be found and might be exploited. Okay, that's what it shows. So the then vulnerable web application actually at the moment with playing with the level of security here, playing with the level of security from low through medium, high, and impossible. It shows us how the code evolved, the security into the code which creates the websites evolved. And that's why with one code you are able to access, with another code you are not able to access. Now, from this moment on, what you need to do actually is to open all the other exercises like the command injection and the cross-site and the SQL, and you could do it. Follow also the Linda course, which I give it to you. You could do it here without any problems. That's what I'm showing to you. That's the theory behind how to do it. Okay, you just follow the exercises in the labs and you do them. What I would like to add here, which I think it's interesting, it is that also the whole thing starts with the information gathering. So you guys, to get the level of security which the site is giving, you need first to find out what's going on there, right? So we started the last time. I did some type of which I showed it to you, if you remember. We've been talking about the passive information gathering and active information gathering. What I would like to add here now is that the information gathering is, you could find out the IP address, you could find out the domain name, you could see what the technology is used behind the creation of the site. If they use the PHP, if they use different frameworks, that are very modern nowadays, like Node.js and so on and so forth. What is used for the front end, what is used for the back end, as well as actually sometimes the site you would like to test is really protected, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you cannot still access it. These sites, most of the time, they resides with other sites in the same server, where you could find out another site which is much easy to access, and afterwards compromising this site, you could access from this site another site, the one which you would like to actually access. Also checking the DNS records and all the other beautiful things which might help you out, you guys, to find out what's going on with these sites. So if I would like to show you very briefly, now let me find out, if you look for sites which are allowed to be actually tested, I'll find out one, let's say, one like this might be, let's see, Google Gruyere. So what I would do, actually, I will open my Windows machine here. This is the one. No, this is not the one. It's shut it down. I'll change to NAT network to my Windows machine. It is this one. So let me just open it and stop the. Here it is. That's the one. I will stop now the network for a second, because we would like to access something which is which have a real site on it, not this one obviously. And we would like to use for passive information gathering, we would like to use real sites like the previous on the previous week what we've done, but just with another much more powerful tool actually you to know and to see. I'll stop this just for a second, disable it for a second. I'll go here and change from number 3, which I'm using, to not network. Okay, say okay. I'll enable it back. Now it's important to double check if Google is pingable by name. Yeah, you see if we ping .8.8.8, so that means clearly there is a DNS problem, and most probably we did it manually here. So we're gonna check here now. Yeah, here it is. We'll fix this after. I'll say okay on that one. I'll say close, and now if I check Google, there will be no problem. So you see, very common problem is with the DNS resolution. As you see, it's very easy fixable actually. You just need to know where you're looking for and what you're looking for. So what I want to check first would be a site called whoisdomaintools.com. Okay, that's the whoisdomaintools.com. Here it is. It will open now, and you could look for a site. And we said we're gonna use the Google Greer. So I'll copy. Oops. I'll copy and I'll paste the. I'll copy and paste here the link, and it will show you a lot of useful information about the DNS especially. So you see where it is. Well, what's the organization? You see the most of the time you could find out here even names, and you could find out telephone numbers of people who are there. Okay, well, this is test site, so there will be no real information, and most of it won't be real. So you see now it says validation required. I need to say that I'm not a robot. But what it does actually, they checking me now, and they gathering the information. So this is one of the site you could go and you could do things. So basically, if you sign up to this service, you could find out even more information they could give you. Another one which is very useful is the Netcraft. So it's .netcraft.com. Indeed, actually here you need to go to the site_report. Site_report. You put the exclamation point here, the question mark URL, and you put equal. And actually it will, we need to put here the site itself. So we put again the Control V, I'll put the Google, and it will give me the background information. It will give me the background information, and as you see on that side, and you could see much more information here, which I will leave you guys to check by yourself. Again, if you sign up here, you're gonna find out much more about the site itself. And the last one you could use could be the www.robotex.com. Well, these are just a few of them actually. Robtex, not Robotex, guys. It's Robtex. Here it is. And I could put here again. I could put here whatever I have for Google. And I'm gonna see even more information about the Google. So once again, guys, I'll leave you guys to check by yourself these sites. And the other thing, what I want you guys to do is to check, as we said, how to do the from your attacking machine, how you guys to be able to perform. First of all, change the security level to low, and afterwards be able to execute the file inclusion, the file upload. Well, let's do the file upload together. Actually, that's a good thing. That's the how you could create a reverse, how you could do a reverse shell command injection. What you could do is actually could ping. You could execute a command and ping google.com, let's say. Well, I mean, it won't work this way because it says ping an IP address, right? So what you could do, let me go back to, let me stop again the, I don't need actually to, so let's ping, we have here 192.168, and let's put here, it's, I could ping this one, so let's do submit, and as you see there is a ping here. Okay, it will work with the ping. There will be no problem this to be done. Well, something else I could do actually is I could ping again this, but because it's a very low security, I could actually do a colon and I could execute another command. I could say pwd. Okay, you know, in Linux you could add a second command or more commands if you're using the colon. So it will execute the first one and it will execute the second one when you have a semicolon. So when I do submit, now you see it will submit it, and afterwards it will show it to me where I am actually. Okay, it will show me where I am. So basically what we could do here, we could eventually execute a reverse shell, and here how it is. I will deploy this, so you're gonna have this on your you know, on your in your documentation. And indeed, actually what you could do here is to create the reverse shell. Let me just do it and I'll show you the command. The first thing what we're gonna do will be to start listening for a connection. So we're gonna use the netcat command for this. So let's do Control L on this and Control C actually, so to get out of what we've been doing before. So the netcat command, you could use it directly from the shell of Kali, and you could do -VV, so to be verbose, to verbose, so to show it to you what's going on. And we're gonna listen on a port 8080 for now. And here it is. Now it's listening to the port. So the next thing, we'll open the wherever I showed it to you a little bit before. I'll minimize this first. I'll open wherever I showed it to you before on the screen, and that was this one. Okay, I'll open it and I'll copy the NC command here. I'll actually write it down. Okay, and I'll put it there. So actually what I will do, I'll put again this, I will try to ping again the 200, okay, what I did before, okay. Now, but I'm going to insert now the command as well, which will actually open a shell from the attacking machine to my Kali machine. So what I need to do here is to insert what is shown on the picture. So let's open it again, the picture. So we need to write down here the NC, and then we need to say dash E. Then we need to say bin and sh. That's my shell. So that's what I want to do. Let me do it again. I don't do it. NC. I'll say afterwards dash E. Then I'll say bin. Then I'll say sh. That's where my shell it is, my bash it is. And then I need to say my IP address. So that's the attacking the computer which I am at the moment. And if I would like to double check it, I could open another shell here and do IPA, and you're gonna see it. It's a 201. So that's what I need to put here. It would be 10. I'm sorry, 172.168.250. Let me just double check. 250. No, 50.201. So 50.201, and I'll say enter or submit. The same thing. I'll say submit. Okay. And now what I would realize that I'm going to be connected. I will be connected. Now let's double check if everything is okay, because if I forgot to add something, it might not start right away. Actually, I need to put here the port. If you remember, there is a port which is supposed to be put it, so it's 8080, and I'll say submit. Now it has been, you see the injection has been done, and when I come back, I would be able to access it now. Since we just put in this machine, we need to allow it on the firewall. So I'll open my firewall and navigate to the firewall rules here, and I'll do exactly the same rules as I did. I'll go to the DMZ, and I will do the same. Well, any address from here, the ICMP actually. Where is the ICMP? That's the ICMP. Well, it has been done already, so it's supposed to be working. Let's see if it works from here. If gonna be able to ping from here 192.168.50, which is our internet at the moment. 192.168.50 201. If that was the IP address, so you see it's not pinging it. That's why. No, it's 20. Yeah, it's 201. It doesn't ping. That's why it doesn't allow. So we need to change it. You see the ping has been stopped. So what I need to do now is just to click on this and to change it to green, and afterwards to say apply the changes. It has been stopped. Remember, we stopped it. So I'm gonna stop this one and I'll ping again.